People who stay silent when they are hurt. You know, there are people who do not scream when they are in pain. They do not slam doors, they do not try to win the argument, and they do not give long speeches to defend themselves. They simply become silent. And that silence is often misunderstood. People think it is contempt, coldness, or a way of punishing the other person. But in reality, sometimes that silence simply means, right now, I am in too much pain to speak without losing myself. Because not everyone reacts to pain in the same way. Some people talk immediately because it brings them relief. Others need time. Their heart feels a lot. Their mind spins at full speed, but their mouth shuts down. Not because they have nothing to say. Often it is the exact opposite. They have too much to say, too many emotions at once, too many sentences colliding inside them, and none of them feel right enough to come out. For these people, silence is not empty. It is full of questions, memories, and restraint. They wonder, did I misunderstand? Is it worth explaining? If I speak, will it make things worse? Will my words be used against me? And while others only see a calm face, inside, there may be a real storm. But this reflex does not come from nowhere. Often, people who go silent when they are hurt have already tried to speak. They have already said what hurt them. They have already tried to explain gently. And sometimes, instead of being met with listening, they were met with blame. They were told they were exaggerating, that they were too sensitive, that they took things too much to heart. Or worse, their vulnerability was used against them. So little by little, they learned a silent rule. Speaking can come at a high cost. And when the brain learns that, it looks for a way to avoid experiencing the same wound again. For some people, that solution becomes silence. Not a cruel silence, not a calculated silence, a protective silence. It is a bit like touching a hot surface once. The next time, your body pulls away before you even have time to think about it. With emotions, it can be the same. When someone has been hurt too many times after opening up, their body eventually reacts before their words do. They shut down. They take distance. They are simply trying not to make the pain worse. And there is another point many people forget. Sometimes staying silent is also a way to avoid saying something they will regret. Some people know that when they are hurt, their words can become harsh, confused, or unfair, so they prefer to wait. They prefer to process what they feel before speaking. It is not always avoidance. Sometimes it is a form of respect for the other person, but also for themselves. The problem is that this silence can create a huge misunderstanding. The person stays silent to protect themselves, but the other person feels rejected. They take a step back so they do not explode, but the other person thinks they do not care. And the more they are pushed to talk, the more they shut down. Because that pressure confirms exactly what they fear. My emotions are not safe here. What these people need is not for someone to force the words out of them. They need a space where they can come back without feeling attacked. A space where someone can say, I can see that you need time. I'm here when you're ready. It may seem simple, but for someone who has always had to hide what they feel, that patience can change everything. Because deep down, these people do not necessarily want to stay silent their whole life. They just want to feel that their words will not be trampled the moment they come out. They want to be able to speak without being corrected after every sentence, without having to justify themselves for hours, without fearing that they will be misunderstood once again. And if you recognize yourself in this, remember this: your silence is not proof that you are broken. It may be an old protection that helped you stay standing. But with the right people, in the right spaces, you will not always need to hide behind it. Healing does not mean becoming someone who talks all the time. It means learning to recognize the moments when you are silent by choice and the moments when you are silent out of fear. And little by little, allowing your words to return to the places where they can be received with gentleness. If this kind of reflection speaks to you, subscribe for the next ones.